minutes. We'll see if I can keep it down that short and I don't, get off because I love this topic. But I have about 5 minutes to scope, and I want to talk personality because I have this post up this week that I want to thank you all for sharing on Facebook because it's been crazy exciting. I've never seen numbers on my blog like I have with this post, and it's so much fun. So thank you so much for sharing it on Facebook. So it's about your homeschool personality and what that means for your homeschool. And I have this free sign up, or this free little sheet that you just give me your email address and I will send it straight to you. It's all automatic, so it happens right away. Your personality type and what that means for your homeschool. Yeah, that's great, Alyssa. It's about as much time as I have for actually talking too before I get interrupted, as you've all seen in the past. So you can find this at simplyconvivial.com. It's the top post. But I wanted to talk today really quickly about how to know what your type is, because I know a lot of people, they take a test and they aren't sure. Dawn's here. Dawn was typed incorrectly for years. And so just how to know if you're not quite sure. So woozy mom. Also, so Dawn took a professional test too. Yeah, it wasn't even just a free internet test. I know a lot of times the tests online, they'll have a bias towards whoever put them together, their type or their perceptions of types, because the tests are only as good as the people writing them, and the people are doing a good job. It's a hard thing to figure out because there's what they mean when they're writing the question, and then how you interpret it, and what experiences you're thinking of, or if you're thinking of the idealistic you, or a lot of times, people do prefer to be organized or whatever, but they aren't as organized as they want to be. So then the questions say, are you an organized person? I do this too. And I say, well, I wish I was. Because my standard, what I want for organization is up here, and I feel like I'm right here. So I'm going to say no. But the thing is, you prefer the organization, like someone that is a P, not a J, someone who prefers to not be organized is going to not even want that level of organization. So it's really, taking those tests is really actually a tricky thing to do. Yeah, or sometimes you're like, I would like to be, and so I'm going to say that I am. So here is my little quick tip for how to figure out if you've taken a test and you've gotten lots of different answers, and you would like to figure out what your type is and you aren't sure how to do it. Find, if you're picking between two, or picking, a lot of times the test will give you a range. They're a scale. So you have E and I, introvert and extrovert, and there's a scale, and they'll rank you on each letter. So find the scales where you're near the middle and read the personality description for the 2 or 3 types that you're trying to choose between, because usually you're not trying to pick between 2 extremely different types. You're like, I'm either an ISFJ or an INFJ, and which one? And a lot of times those two both have a hard time figuring out, because both of them, with the F, they're very sympathetic, and so they prefer to see things through other people's eyes. So oftentimes they'll answer those questions based on what the person that they're spending the most time with would say, because they're identifying with the people they're closest to so much. Or they're just both the ISFJ and the INFJ identify so much with others that they don't always take the time to differentiate themselves and listen to themselves. Okay, so so you take the 2 or 3 that you're choosing from and go to something like 16 personalities Or I think it's Personality Page is another really good one. I'm going to write a post on this eventually, and I'll link to my favorite ones. But 16 Personalities is a very good one. And read the thorough description of the 2 or 3 that you're trying to decide between, and one of them should nail you. It should come eerily close, and it maybe even uncomfortably close, because it might be that you're misidentifying different characteristics because you're not really comfortable being that. So, you have to kind of be paying attention, like, that's what one's me, but what's there that I don't want that? Is it because you're not that and it's not describing you, or is it because, there's a certain bit of you that's afraid of your characteristics, that's afraid to own that or to be that, and it's uncomfortable. So read the descriptions, and don't listen just to your test results, but look for the description that resonates with you. And the description that resonates with you, that is a better indicator of what your type is than a test result. The test result is a help, a guide to know which one to go read, but it's really reading that type description and saying, oh, someone's been inside my head. That is how you confirm your type. And if you don't want to take the test, or you don't like the test, you've had problems with the test before, there are probably a couple letters that you're sure of. Just go read like the single paragraph descriptions and pick the 2 or 3 that sound the closest. Read about those ones more in depth, and then you're going to see yourself. There are going to be a few lines that stand out. You read those lines to your husband or one of your older kids if you have some, or your best friend, and they're going to laugh and say, oh yeah, that one's you. So yes, you can find my post on homeschooling and your personality type and what that says about the best way for you to homeschool and really enjoy it and be yourself in your personality at simplyconvivial.com. And it has a freebie little download summary of all the types and their homeschooling types. That's fun, I put together. And yes, that is very true, Dawn. Like I said, you might be uncomfortable owning one of the letters, or because your standard is high for that. Usually it's P or J. Usually if it's a PJ thing, the J's will say, I'm not as organized as I want to be, so I must be a P. Or if it's T and F, if the test has a lot of things where they it's all about your feelings. Is it about what you feel or about what's true? And you're like, well, who's going to say I'm going to pick what I'm feeling over what's true? That's not a good, because then that says your feelings are false. It's like that test, I'll tell you, was clearly written by a T, because that's how T's see it. It's like, yeah, it's either what's true, and if it's what you're feeling, like, who cares about that? So sometimes those tests get written with that kind of T bias, or you grew up with a T bias, however, with parents or whatever, it can be really hard for Fs because they're not necessarily wishy-washy or whatever, but it's not like they don't care about what's true, All right. Oh yeah, that might be a reason we sound the same thing. Yes. My poor little F children also have 2 T parents. That's why I'm into personality. I'm trying to understand and work with them without totally discounting their approach to life. So yeah, go with your gut, especially if you're an F. If you're an F, you have a strongly attuned gut. If you're a T, you're going to be researching. So my time that I can talk personality is up. So this was a lot of fun, and I'll do this again, because who doesn't want to talk personality all the time? Thank you guys for humoring me, and you can check out my post and read more, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!